it's Natasha. In today's video, I am going to review the Easter escape room from Teach Sunday School. So this is a PDF file that you pay for, download, and print out for your kiddos. And right off the bat, I just want to say, like, isn't this super engaging, this cover? I mean, that's beautiful, and that totally draws kids in. So anyway, you can print this out. I use this with my 9 and 10-year-olds. If you're unfamiliar with an escape room, what it is basically a mystery that you're trying to solve. You get some clues and they kind of don't make any sense at first, and you have to figure them out to unlock some secret codes to figure out some answers and get to, you know, the final outcome, basically. They had 4 different mysteries, and all of these mysteries had to do with, well, Easter. And so it led them, you know, talked them all the way through the crucifixion to the resurrection and the ascension. And so let me just kind of tell you each mystery real quick. Mystery number 1 was, why would a disciple betray Jesus? And so how we did it is I would read this information to them. This is information on that topic. It's also useful information that they will use later. So they don't realize that at the beginning that they'll be using this information later, but they will be. So they'll be using this information later. And then what I did is I would set a 15-minute timer, and my girls would work independently on the mystery section. Now, let me show you kind of what the code pages are. So this is the code page that went with mystery number 1. And so, you know, kind of doesn't make any sense at first, but after they kind of stare at it a while, figure things out, it's really good for that critical thinking. Then they were able to figure it out. I felt like this one was the easiest one. I did feel like they got harder as it progressed through the mysteries. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but we felt like it did get harder as the mysteries went on. So that was mystery number 1. They're feeling confident. You know, they got this. And then mystery number 2 was, how did the world's most innocent man get a death sentence? So again, I read this to them and set a 15-minute timer. We did this over the course of a week over spring break. It is intended to do like all in one shot, set a timer for an hour, and like work really fast. I didn't do it that way for a couple reasons. The first reason was I have one daughter who doesn't love to be timed. So when we did it in 15-minute increments, I felt that was enough time for one section, but enough time I knew she would be successful. And since we were doing it over spring break during our bedtime reading time, I really thought it just worked perfectly to spread it out over that week. So it just made a lot of sense for us to do it that way. So that's not how it was intended, so I do want to put that out there, but it actually worked really, really well, and I think it's a really valid way to do it, having done it that way. So anyway, so then we have mystery 2, and then here is the code sheet for that, and you see, you know, they're writing themselves notes and things as they're trying to figure that one out, and that went pretty well too. It was a little bit more difficult than 1, but you get the idea. Mystery 3 is, what did Jesus have to say to all of us? And then they had their questions here, and let me show you. Oh, it is right here, their code paper for that one. Now, mystery 4 is right here. It is, was it really one miracle after the other? This is the one that actually was really super challenging. And here was the code page. And this was taking them a long time. We actually did this over a couple nights. And I ended up just telling them the answer because I didn't want them to get frustrated, because I wanted this to be a fun, memorable, exciting thing that they did. And so I wanted to make sure that they were left with positive feelings about it. I didn't want them to get so frustrated that they were upset. So I ended up giving them the answers. I did feel like this one was a lot harder. I don't know if it was intended to be or not, but I felt like I said, it definitely ramped up, and this was definitely the hardest one. So then they have this 4-digit code, and This is where, so after they're all done with all 4 mysteries, then they do this part. And they use the information from the previous mysteries to solve these answers. Now, they can go back and refer to this, and I think it's actually a valuable skill to be able to go back and find the information you're looking for. So I actually really liked that. And then they once they get the 4-digit code, they get their key. Now, we didn't actually cut out the keys, but we just kind of had a little celebration. They were excited about that. And then the last part here is the final challenge. This is kind of like a quiz to see what they've comprehended over, I was going to say the week, but because we did it over the week, but over the time that they did their escape room. And I had each of my girls do this on their own first, and then we all sat down and went through it when they were done and talked about the correct answers and why they were the correct answers and all that. And so I thought that this page was honestly really, really good. I loved this page. This was one of my favorite pages of the whole thing. So overall, they had a great experience. They really liked it. I would say it was a bit easier for my 10-year-old, who is actually now 11 because today's her birthday. It was a little bit easier for her to do than it was my 9-year-old, but my 11-year-old also has taken an escape room class before, like where they did different escape rooms. And so I think kind of understanding the format of escape rooms and just that critical thinking. My 11-year-old also does a critical thinking book on a weekly basis. So I think it was just a little bit easier for her in that way because she's older and she has a little more experience. But my 9-year-old, pretty much kept up with her for the most part. There was some times where they did help each other, but they were kind of also competing against each other at the same time. But we were all in the same room while they were doing it. You could totally have your kids work together, work apart, timer, no timer. I do love that you can kind of make this whatever you want it to be. So it has, complete instructions on how to use it and all of that, but you can tweak it to fit the needs of your particular family, your particular kids. And so I think it's fabulous. I would definitely recommend it. Solid content, solid fun. And if you have any questions, let me know. I will leave the link down below where you can find and purchase the Easter Escape Room. Make sure you scroll down all the way to the bottom. I had somebody else ask me, where do I actually purchase it? And you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and then you'll see the button to purchase it. So if you want to get this, just click that link and scroll all the way down. If you have any trouble, let me know. I'll try to help you out. Also, make sure you go check out the Homeschool Review Crew blog post that I'll post also in the description, and there's lots of other reviews on the Easter Escape Room too, so you can see how other families used it, and I bet you some other families used it in the more traditional sense of, an all-in one-time escape room, and so you can see their experiences too, and see how other families have modified it and used it in their homeschools. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them down below, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.